Welcome in to I Remember My First Time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't be nasty, Jacob. Not that first time.
Damn it.
This is a podcast about cinematic awakenings,
Oh, I like the sound of that.
where we talk about movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
Oh my god. Cherries are my fucking favorites. That's awesome.
There's a cherry popping scene in this movie.
Yeah, there is.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
Oh, God, I fucking hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
Oh, we love shitty movies. Sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
Absolutely not.
But do we love movies?
Oh, BJ, we love the shit out of movies. And this week's masterpiece is the 2012 Channing Tatum classic, Magic Fucking Mike for Hot Guy January.
Closing it out with a bang.
Ba-ba-boom.
And let's not sell Matthew McConaughey short in this movie.
Absolutely not. Hell no.
Jacob, I hear a lot of lawbreakers listening to this podcast.
BJ, you don't want to know what I have to do for $20.
Do you still have your I'm not gay but $20 is $20 shirt?
Fuck yeah, I do. Why would I not?
Because I definitely thought of you at that scene in the movie.
It's easily the funniest shirt I own. Like the first time I saw someone wearing that, I don't know if it was in public or on social media, but I was like, I need that fucking shirt because a good joke's a good fucking joke.
I am stripper / entrepreneur BJ Leica.
Joined as always by me, entrepreneur / stripper, Jacob Ekus. So our priorities are a bit different.
It's whatever you want them to be.
Hey. All right, let's hear the description of this movie. Magic fucking Mike.
Matthew McConaughey, Channing Tatum, and Alex Pettyfer star in this revealing drama set in the world of exotic male dancing.
That's it?
That's it. It's a stripper movie.
Yeah, but that was a whack-ass description. But okay.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know where I got it, I'm going to be honest with you. Because I may or may not have watched this from a free movie website that may or may not cause viruses on whatever I watch it on.
I 100% did, and it does cause viruses. I just don't click on the pop-ups because I'm a smart man. Wasn't paying to watch Magic Mike. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, thank God I didn't pay to watch this.
We were supposed to have Bert on this podcast. Hopefully he shows up. You know, who knows? Life's a lot. But he texted me last week, and he goes, hey, I love the podcast, and I loved being on last time. But there's no way in fuck I'm paying to watch this movie, so we'll just have to do this again. And I was like, yo, dude, chill the fuck out. I'm not paying for it either. And I sent him the link to the illegal movie website that I know that shall remain unnamed. And I'm like, watch this shit on there, bro. Chill out. And then 4 days later, after he's a Detroit fan, so he was having a rough night on Sunday, which happened to be when he decided to watch Magic Mike. Bad fucking choice.
Whoa.
He texted me and he goes, I fucking hate you for making me watch this movie. And now he's going to hate me more because he watched the movie and he's not on the pod to talk about it. And so now he's watched Magic Mike for Hot Guy January for fuck all.
I can see where it's like, yeah, my team just lost in the playoffs and I was feeling down. I'm like, people seem to like this Magic Mike movie. Channing Tatum, Matthew McConaughey, Steven Soderbergh, about male strippers. This will be a fun watch to get my mind off of it. Spoiler alert, it's not a fun watch.
No, it's a boring ass watch. Speaking of that, let's get in thoughts on the movie. BJ, we're both virgins. So
yep.
Well, you go first. You watch the movie first. I literally finished it 25 minutes ago. It's 10:30, 35 minutes ago. So you tell me what you thought since you finished it a couple days ago.
So I talked to your brother today, and he asked me what I thought about it. And I told him, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. This is I'm disappointed in the movie. I'm disappointed that this movie's been out for 12 years. Not one person has told me, hey, it's actually kind of a shitty, boring melodrama. That's no fun at all. And that's what this is. Not no fun at all. It's not near as fun as it should be.
I mean, when you see the people in it and you know what it's about, you think this movie's gonna be a fucking riot from beginning to end. They didn't even have the first stripping scene until damn near 25 minutes in the movie.
Yeah, and I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop for it to get fun.
Me
And it
too.
never did. And it never
Me
did.
too.
And Steven Soderbergh directed this movie. Steven Soderbergh directed Ocean's 11, something I would call one of the 10 most fun movies of all time. Steven Soderbergh knows how to make a movie fun. And he has Channing Tatum and Matthew McConaughey as male strippers, and he doesn't make it fun. And it's so disappointing.
Yeah, you texted me and you were like, I can't believe how boring this is. And I was like, what do you mean? And you're like, maybe boring is the wrong word. It's not very fun. And I'm watching this movie, and 35 minutes into it, I was just like, I mean, I understand what he's saying, because I don't know, like, boring might not be the right movie, but goddamn, I thought I was going to have fun watching this movie. I thought this was going to be the highlight of Hawkeye January, and it turns out that Twisters was the highlight of Hawkeye January, and we should have picked better fucking movies for the inaugural Hawkeye January. Twister should have been picked because it gave you the idea for Hawkeye January, as we discussed in Twisters. But the other two movies should have been better. That's what I got to say. What did you like about it?
First and foremost, McConaughey. How do you not love McConaughey in this movie? This is when he's doing this and Wolf of Wall Street, where he's like, I'm going to be in this movie for like 12 minutes, but I'm going to kill all 12 minutes because I'm fucking cool.
I just showed Nema like probably a month ago True Detective, and watching this movie, she's like, it's hard to believe that that's the same guy from True Detective. Like, yeah, you're 100% right. But like you said, I enjoyed every time McConaughey was on scene. He's in 2 of my Mount Rushmore scenes as the main person.
Channing Tatum, great dancer, fantastic dancer.
Ooh, before you go on, sorry. Channing Tatum did all his own choreography because this is lightly based on his life before he became big. He was a male stripper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like the group choreographed dance. I liked when we were in the strip club. I liked all of those scenes. But that's about it.
Gonna back you up on everything. That's about all I like too. And you know, for going into what I didn't like, and I think I've already touched on this, like, I think they took themselves too seriously. Like, they tried to make it more of a drama piece instead of a fun piece. And I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. Like, Homeboy, who stole all the pills and was living with his sister, like, I didn't give 2 flying fucks about that kid. And I like Channing Tatum and I like Matthew McConaughey, but I can't say that I cared about their characters. I just enjoyed them on screen because they were great at what they were doing.
It's, first of all, it's odd because this is Steven Soderbergh, who also directed Ocean's 12, where he takes himself so unseriously. There's a bit where Julia Roberts' character looks so much like Julia Roberts, they have to convince Bruce Willis it's Julia Roberts. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's real funny.
There's none of that in here. And why are the stakes so low?
It seems like a stripper movie would be primed to not take yourself seriously and have a good time. On your previous point. Yeah, like, and then you're right. The stakes are so low. Like, I guess they tried to make them big when you find out the pills were 10 grand worth of pills. But I mean, even still, Channing Tatum didn't do it. Like, so he's got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, just like I said, just an odd flow to the movie. The hitting rock bottom happens so late in the movie.
Yep.
The climax is weird. it's a really boring climax. But I guess I'm kind of getting into what we didn't like here, aren't I?
We're talking about what we didn't like. We already passed what we liked.
Okay. And outside of the actual dancing, nothing sexy is happening.
Oh my God, no fucking shit. Like, I think you said that before we started recording. Like, yes, I know that I'm a straight male and we're watching a male stripper movie and this movie is not made for me. But that doesn't mean that I still didn't come into this movie expecting to have a good fucking time. It was supposed to be fun.
And there were several inclinations of sex scenes that they could have made sexy and they just
Like,
didn't. That's odd.
I wanted to watch good looking men in a strip club for 2 hours. Like, it was a 2 hour movie. That's what I wanted to watch. That's why we picked it. Like, we picked Bloodsport to watch Jean-Claude Van Damme in peak condition do the split 7 times and look at his impeccably round butt and his fucking chest and abs. Like, it's Hawkeye January. That's what we're here for. And so many times they could have made it so more sexy. Like you said, I didn't even think about that. That's why I'm upset, because I didn't even think about that. Like, I was so upset that I was so focused on the fact that they were taking themselves too seriously and trying to make it a drama and a serious movie that I didn't even fucking think about that.
And the biggest complaint, and this kind of goes into the not sexy thing, where the backstory is Channing Tatum wants to be a, I guess, recycled material furniture designer. Show a not a promo, show a montage of shirtless Channing Tatum doing manly shit in the garage with wood and metal. Why was that not in here?
See, I personally thought that was a bit, and he just didn't want to tell people he was a male stripper. Because, like,
but
when he opened that when he opened that book of furniture that he's made, I'm like, that shit looks fucking stupid. Like, that was one of the funniest parts of the movie to me, because he went into this bank and he sat down and he had glasses on, and the first thing Nima says after watching Channing Tatum in his rock hard butt in the first scene was, classic moves. Glasses make you look smarter. And
with
then
this stupid haircut too, where it was kind of like,
yeah, and then he pulls out these stupid looking custom furniture things. I thought it was a bit. I just thought it was a bit to get a down payment on a house.
Interesting. I didn't think that. I thought he actually was. I took it at face value. Cause I guess that makes sense, because I'm like, why do you not have him doing like manly wood shop shit? Like, why do you not have him fucking angle grinding some metal shirtless with sparks flying? Like, why are you not putting this in this movie? This is wild.
And it's 2012. Like, OnlyFans just started. You could have him doing that in his garage and setting up a camera and posting it on the internet, like, making so much money.
Yeah, but yeah, no, not fun, not sexy, and kind of boring.
Yeah, it was really weird. I expected all of the opposite things out of this movie, and that's what made me excited. And they start the movie with Channing Tatum waking up naked in his bed and walking to the bathroom. Like, Bloodsport makes you wait 45 minutes in an hour and 20-minute movie.
I believe you see Olivia Munn's exposed breast 4 seconds into this movie.
You do. And I will say that I didn't have this included on the trivia, but this is the first and only movie she's ever done topless. She has been so against being nude that she did a shoot for Playboy and never got nude. And she decided to do it for this, and her reasons were because the script was great and there wasn't gratuitous nudity that wasn't needed. And then she supposedly, like, because I only looked this up on IMDb, she supposedly laughs and goes, I guess every person who said they won't do nudity and then does it says something like that. But
yep, they do. That's exactly what they say.
She was like, my character was getting out of the shower, and to be authentic, people don't take showers with their shirts on, so I couldn't justify not being topless. And
do you know one person who did stand behind not getting totally naked in a movie?
Yes, BJ, I know one person who stood behind not getting totally naked in a movie. And for everyone who doesn't remember this, in 1990, they were filming the erotic thriller
Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct. Thank you, BJ. And the star of the movie, Michael fucking Douglas, insisted that they get an actor that would put it all out there on the line, just like him, meaning that they would get naked and nude and show their bits just like him. And they found Sharon Stone, and Sharon Stone did show her wahoo-ha. On camera, you can watch the movie and see Sharon Stone's wahoo-ha. And Michael Douglas never shows us his fucking dick. This motherfucker got paid about $15 million in 1990, and Sharon Stone got paid somewhere around $850,000. Show us your dick, Michael Douglas.
That was impassioned.
Sometimes you have to remind people because it was our second podcast, and who's going to go back and fucking listen to that shit? Like, we could have one random listener. I looked at the listeners, and we have people all across the world. It's fucking crazy. I mean, we don't have a lot. We have like 2,000 downloads total.
So, worldwide, baby.
Yeah. And you know that for like 7 or 8 episodes in a row, they just hear me yell out, "Show us your dick, Michael Douglas." And I gotta let them know sometimes. Like, it's only fair. But anyways, was this a good or a bad movie? It was a bad movie.
It's bad. And no one told me it was bad. Like, this movie's been out for 12 years. No one's ever told me it was bad.
13 now. You would think someone would tell you it's bad.
Well,
all right, BJ, what do we got? Ratings?
Yep. We know what we thought of the movie.
Okay.
Now, for the rest of the public, very odd scores here.
Okay.
6.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay.
78% Rotten Tomato and 72% Metacritic score.
Get the fuck out of here. It has a 72% Metacritic score?
Lord me.
Get the like, at first I was kind of surprised by the Rotten Tomato score, but half of the population is women. I'm sure most women enjoyed the fuck out of this movie.
Did they though?
Rotten Tomatoes is a yes and no. I mean, yeah, you see Channing Tatum and Matthew McConaughey in great viewpoints.
Okay, that's fair. It's just nothing else is sexy and it's not fun.
I understand that. Ultimately, this will be a good Hawkeye January for any women that come across our pod, because those two guys look fucking great, and that's why people like this movie. But holy shit, Metacritic, talk to me, BJ.
What do you think our boy Roger Ebert thought of this movie?
It is 2012, so he's definitely alive. That, I don't know. Like for this movie, this is the first movie that I'm like, I wish this came out after Roger died, because I honestly don't know.
Can I tell you what he titled it before you guess the score? Because I've been dying to say this.
Oh yeah, let me guess the score after you tell me his title.
The title that he wrote for this review is "Crotches for Rent, $2."
Oh, that's fucking incredible. You know, it's funny because just last week on Bloodsport, you're just like, if Roger doesn't do it, it's not even hardly worth doing because he's just such a good writer. And what an incredible title. Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna say a 5 out of 10, so 2 out of 4 stars.
3 out of 4 stars. A thumbs up from Roger Ebert.
Get the fuck out of here. He gives it an 8.
Whether you're a man or a...
Hold on. Wow.
I thought the same thing. This
is the guy who shit on Scooby-Doo.
No characters develop in this movie.
I'm just like, Scooby-Doo knew it was a live action cartoon. They're just dicking around having a good time, talking to a fake dog. Like, this movie, 3 out of 4. Holy shit. All right, this is going to be a great review. Let's go.
Whether you're a man or a woman, making money by allowing people to push cash inside your G-string, I think we can agree, is demeaning. It's probably worse for women because the big spenders with $2 probably harbor some vague dream of sleeping with them. In the case of male strippers, I suspect their female fans are looking for fun and some laughs on their girls' night out. I could be wrong about this. I am right about the job, however. Selling anyone the right to touch your genital area for a couple of bucks is not a good way to build self-esteem.
Okay.
That's the first paragraph of his review.
Wow. I will say his opinions on male strippers versus female strippers, I've never talked to one about it, but I think is spot on because women know they can get laid. Men go out and hope they can get laid. So when women are going to a strip club, they're just having a good time. When men go to a strip club, it's like, she wants to have sex. No, dude, she's just a stripper. She's just a stripper.
I had two friends that were male strippers right out of high school.
Oh,
They
really?
shall remain. Yeah.
Awesome. I hope they listen to this pod.
And I had a roommate who worked a couple shifts at noted Dallas male strip club Master Blasters.
Holy shit. Okay.
LeBairs is the big one, if you know, you know. And it is not like that at all. In fact, from what I have been told by all three of them, is the women are incredibly demanding and expect a lot for very little pay.
I mean, I get that and can get behind it with how men are about women's bodies. Like, fucking pay me, bitch.
He ends the review. Adam, who I guess is Kid's real name, I didn't know that. Adam's descent into drug-fueled depravity is portrayed with merciless detail. When you sleep with a girl who has a pet piglet and wake up with that little fella eating your vomit, surely you've hit rock bottom. Magic Mike.
No fucking shit. Well put.
Magic Mike starts as fun and grows steadily darker. Soderbergh and cast tell a realistic, vivid story. You get a feeling of realism and research. For example, when a chubby fan throws herself into the arms of a muscular dancer, the poor guy throws his back out.
Awesome.
No one else is writing reviews like that, man.
No. And it's like I said, it's so funny what you said about him and Bloodsport, because I wanted to disagree, but I didn't, because this has been one of our best segments because of Roger. And then he just comes with a fucking bomb. Just a fucking bomb of a title and a review the very next week on our pod. Just, it's fucking incredible. Awesome. And like I said, I love what he had to say about the difference between male and female strip clubs with how the customers act.
Well, now it's time that we get deep in this movie.
How deep, BJ?
More than dry humping chest on a stage deep.
I think what you mean to say is balls deep. Balls deep into this movie.
I haven't said it yet.
I know. You say it on my birthday episodes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's your birthday present.
It's the only time you say it. And it's incredible every time. I wait for my birthday. I'm excited for my birthday episode this year. I'm excited for you specifically to watch it. I think it's such a great movie. But Mount Rushmore of scenes.
I don't know about you, but I had a hard time picking out my Mount Rushmore of scenes.
Well, that makes sense to me because you texted me, can I lie, cheat, and steal every scene? I was like, of course you can. That's our fucking pod. Like, we do whatever the fuck we want. So, duh. But I did not have a hard time, and I didn't have to lie, cheat, and chill. This is one of the few movies where, and this just speaks for how unfun this movie was, because it shouldn't be this way. All of my scenes are true scenes. When you go to the DVD menu and there's 32 scenes to pick from, one of my scenes is one of those 5-minute bits. That's my entire Mount Rushmore. I didn't cheat once.
Okay.
Very, very rare for me.
So I'll start off with my fourth favorite scene, and it is the popping cherry scene. It is Kid backstage meeting all the male strippers, and I see big sexy Diesel, Kevin Nash, and I'm like, fuck yeah, we have a wrestling tie, baby. And there's a penis pump. And there's a penis pump.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing Hawkeye January and there's a penis pump in the movie, it has to be in Mount Rushmore. So thank you for including
making
this.
It's making it.
It has. That's why we're doing this movie, to see great men and fucking great penis. Like, and I love Hawkeye January because I love that we're two heterosexual white men in the U.S. Like, next year we have to have a woman on the pod. Like, it has to happen for Hawkeye January. Maybe every week. We might that might be the 1 month you get every year where we have a guest every week, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, it makes us seem less gay.
It does, as we talk about penis pumps and the dressing room of a strip club being in our Mount Rushmore. But yeah, Kevin Nash, as soon as he came on the screen, I looked at Nim and I was like, "You've seen a movie with him in it?" And she's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, The Longest Yard." Ton of wrestlers in that movie.
He's in one of the John Wick movies too. I don't remember which one, because they're all
that's
kind of the
right.
same.
He is. Forgot about that. Okay, good. You said you lied, cheated, and stealed on all of your Mount Rushmore.
No. I ended up not. I do on coming up.
Okay, my number 4 scene, and because of what I thought about this movie and it just being pretty okay, my Mount Rushmore is an all true Mount Rushmore. There's no really one or four, but I'm gonna go with at first the army strip scene. Shout out to my brother. Love that strip scene. That was my favorite one outside of my number 1 scene. I love them shooting AK-47s with their dicks. That works on so many levels, like men and their dicks and guns, and we're in America and Second Amendment, and fuck yeah.
The crotch work in this movie is quite incredible.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know what this reminded me of? Just for some reason, talking about dick. One of the other things I didn't like about this movie, like, we're in fucking Tampa, we're in Florida. Why isn't there more cocaine? There is 0 cocaine in this movie.
There's other drugs.
Yeah,
but yes, there should have been cocaine.
BJ, you've been to a strip club. You've been to many strip clubs. You know, should have been cocaine.
Especially in Florida.
Especially in Florida, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're filming this in Dallas, who gives a shit?
Florida. Yeah, there's blood sport levels of cocaine off. You know what I'm saying? The amount of cocaine that was offset on Bloodsport is how much should have been in this movie.
Yeah. One of the things I didn't like, I forgot to bring it up, but yeah, the army strip scene was one of the great strip scenes of the movie. I very much enjoyed it.
My third favorite scene is the police officer sorority party scene.
Thank you for putting that on there. That didn't make my Mount Rushmore, but that was a good scene.
That was a good scene. It's the turn of the movie when it starts to get super dark, when the kid starts losing it. Funny fight scenes, watching 2 naked men trying to fight off 11 college kids. It made me laugh.
I was already enjoying it before they started fighting. I was like, this seems great. And then I saw Channing Tatum in a thong beat the shit out of a guy on a couch, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
I also love when the kid pulls out the clearly fake gun and starts pointing it at people. Yep, and then when they get out the door, he throws it back in the house. That's comedy, man. And it does remind me of the time where I was at one of my wife's coworkers. I want to say it was her 30th birthday.
Okay.
And it's in the summer. We're at the pool. The sun hasn't even gone down yet. So it's probably like 8:00. And a rather young, rather handsome police officer comes out to the pool, and he's wearing shorts, mind you, to tell us that there's been a noise complaint. So this young, attractive police officer in shorts is telling us there was a noise complaint at 8:00. To which my response to that is, holy shit, he actually hired her a stripper for her 30th birthday. This was a real cop, and he did not like that comment. And I was not convinced he was a real cop for about 5 minutes. Loud? Yep.
You said that out
To
loud?
the cop's face. Yeah.
Awesome. That's one of my favorite cop stories ever.
I think at one point I even told him, "You're wearing shorts."
Incredible. Fucking incredible. That's one of my favorite cop stories ever. And BJ, just because you brought up a pool party at someone's house at 37, you're 37, right?
6.
At 36 years old, even before you started losing all this weight, working out and eating right, what have you always been able to do at a pool?
Backflips. Every time I enter
Huh.
a pool, I enter via backflip.
Best way to enter it, and I wish I could do it.
Channing Tatum did a backflip into the water in this movie off the bridge.
Another reason to bring it up. You are Channing Tatum level cool in one sense. You do backflips into water.
Every time.
I think it was this last summer that you randomly texted me and you said, "How long should I keep doing backflips into pools? Like, at some point, should I stop?" And my response to you, and I remember this is a core memory for me, was, "You don't stop until you can't do it anymore."
And why not? Why wouldn't I? Every time, if you
I mean,
invite me to your pool and I get in the pool, I'm entering via backflip.
And even and this is last summer. This isn't even now. You're under 200. Like last summer, you had the dad bod. You're balding. Like that guy gets fucking laid if he's single doing a backflip into a pool. I'm sorry.
I haven't quit. I'm not quitting.
Yeah, you're not quitting because you texted me. My number 3 scene is the beach scene. Very
Okay.
quick, very funny. I love Matthew McConaughey's view on children and education and having kids. I thought that was fucking hilarious. That was the dumbest, most hilarious anarchist shit I've ever heard. It was awesome.
That's exactly what every stupid person says on how they're going to raise their kids.
Yep. And then Channing Tatum and Homegirl walk off and Channing Tatum immediately goes with the joke. Hey, Dallas has this little class that he does about life lessons and what to do with your life. I think you'd get a lot out of it. And I thought that was so fucking funny. That came about 35 minutes into the movie, and I was like, that's my first scene. Like that's my first scene on Mount Rushmore. Not my number one, but like I was like, that's it. That's the first one I've seen that makes it. And it's just so funny.
This is where Channing Tatum is at his most charming in the movie.
Yeah. And he didn't spend very long there, unfortunately. All right.
He wasn't very charming throughout the movie, oddly enough.
Yeah, and that's weird because we've watched Channing Tatum movies outside of the pod, and we both agree he's charismatic, charming, and really good physical comedy.
Yeah.
You're number 2.
This is in honor of Kevin Nash. We will call it instead of the Eddie Guerrero, this will be his partner, the Razor Ramon. Hey,
nice.
yo.
Nice.
So I am being the bad guy, lying, cheating, and stealing. And number 2, quite simply, is every group choreographed dance. I enjoyed every group choreographed dance. And there's 4 of them?
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and you're all great. I mean, it's why the army scene made my Mount Rushmore. Like, I understand why adding all of them as one scene works for you, because they're all great.
That is the best one. The It's Raining Men with the umbrellas is fantastic. They're all really good. They're all really well done, and none of them go too long.
Yes. Like, they should have put more strip scenes in this movie, but the strip scenes they did have were perfect in length. And that's what she said.
Your number 2?
Yeah, my number 2, because my number 1, I'm going to assume is your number 1. So my number 2, and I thought this was so funny too. This happened shortly after the beach scene. And I was like, all right, that's my number 2. That's my second favorite. That's the second one on my Mount Rushmore. Was the training scene in the dance studio. I thought that shit was so funny. Matthew McConaughey was so fucking good, and that young kid Adam, whatever his face was, did so well playing opposite McConaughey as McConaughey groped him from behind at one point.
And
It was,
said, "Don't worry, we're not faggots."
yes, he said, "Don't worry, we're not faggots. You're taking your clothes off like a 12-year-old boy in a locker room." I personally don't want to think about a 12-year-old boy in a locker room, but it was very well said and perfectly delivered by Matthew McConaughey. And the dude took it and then did better. Like great scene and very funny and unintentionally funny.
That was at that moment, I couldn't tell how funny the movie was trying to be.
I 100% agree with that. And I wish they would have stuck with this level of funniness because
Did
it's
you
not
say
too.
funniness?
I did because I make up my own words because this is my own podcast.
Okay.
But like if they stuck with this level of funniest, it would be great because it wasn't too funny. It was just the right amount because the actors are always going to take it seriously. Just the directors and the movie producers and the writers don't.
To what you said earlier about this movie, this is where it takes itself the least serious, and this is where it excels the most.
Yeah. And I still thought of like at this point in the movie that it was still kind of slow and kind of boring, but it was still like all you needed to do was a little bit more because these things were hitting.
I thought the movie was going to turn fun at this scene.
I did too. You've given me enough backstory. I understand the characters. I know where they're coming from. I know who's doing what. I know why they're doing what. Let's make it fun now. And they never did. All right. I bet we have the same number one.
I mean, I do another Razor Ramon. Hey, yo. It's every scene McConaughey's in because he's a fucking star in this movie. And every scene he's in is great. And he steals the show, and all my attention is on him every time he's on the screen, even though the character is a utter dipshit.
You know, as you said those things, and I didn't think this to the movie. This is the first time I just thought this was Matthew McConaughey needs to do something like this for Scorsese and actually win an Oscar because this is what Mark Wahlberg did in The Departed. McConaughey's just in a shitty movie. Because like you said, every scene he's on, he fucking kills it.
It's such good work from him. The whole movie.
Yes. And it's funny that you even brought up, and I just brought up Scorsese, like this is the exact same time that he showed up on The Wolf of Wall Street. It was in that movie for 5 minutes, and it's one of the most memorable scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just knocking it out of the park. I don't hate you at all for counting all of McConaughey's scenes, and he was in the movie the whole time. So our number one scenes are kind of the same because my number one scene is his last strip dance. It was so incredible.
He was going for it.
He moved so well. And I mean, just according to the trivia, Channing Tatum was allowed to do his own dances because he used to be a stripper and he's good at dancing. So I can only assume that means that McConaughey had to learn his dances. And he fucking killed it. And here you go, BJ. I waited till this moment to do this trivia. All of the female women in the movie watching the strippers are all extras, and they were told to just react naturally. So everything they did the entire movie, it was because they were watching McConaughey put his nice tight butt and abs right in their faces.
What a dream job for those women.
Right. Like, and I feel like that's another reason women like this movie too, because I feel like this is the one movie women are like, there's a movie website you look at, right? That has trivia and all this random other shit. He's like, yeah, it's moviepoopshoot.com. And they go
moviepoopshoot.com.
And then they go to IMDb and they read trivia and they see that like, oh my God, if they make a second one, I need to get out to Florida. I need to take a vacation. I mean, how incredible is that? I have more trivia about that. I waited till that moment because what an incredible scene. And McConaughey's so good. This movie gave a good Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, difficult one, but good one.
Yeah.
Because Is there a scene in this movie, like an actual scene that's longer than about 6 minutes?
I don't think so. And they're just so hard to make you care about people that you could give a fucking shit about.
No, I never cared about a single character in this movie.
Yep. All right. Character breakdown. Like I said with like earlier with what I didn't like about the movie, like where's all the cocaine? We're in Tampa, Florida. It's Florida strip clubs. Like it's fucking crazy. You can say a lot of shitty things about Mark Wahlberg, but at least when he was producing Entourage and it was lightly based on his life, there were a ton of drugs. Like Channing Tatum should have had cocaine in this movie. Outside of that, his character was awesome.
I think that character was portrayed well. It's just the ancillary story stuff. I almost would have rather had the relationship with the female lead, who I forget. I almost wish it was more rom-com-y, and he could just kind of be more charming and more sexy instead of what it was, which I'm not really sure. It did give me what. Oh, go
I
ahead.
never thought of that because I very rarely watch rom-coms. But I think you're totally fucking right. Like I think that would have even all those scenes that I didn't care about, I would have enjoyed them more if it was more rom-com-y and Channing Tatum was able to be charming and fun.
Yeah, because it would have been more fun.
Yeah,
but it did give me one of the dumbest lines I've ever heard in a movie when he says, "I am not my lifestyle." Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You are your lifestyle. What the fuck are you talking about?
Everyone is their lifestyle. Like, come on.
Like, you could be like, I'm not the person that's on that stage. Sure, go ahead. But you absolutely are your lifestyle.
Good Channing Tatum stuff. Oh, so to start with the kid who we have next, he's not in the second Magic Mike movie because him and Channing Tatum did not get along. So he wasn't even offered to come back.
I thought he kind of sucked.
Oh, he sucked 100%.
Okay.
And I thought the lead actress sucked, and then this guy kept talking and acting. And I was like, holy shit!
And I don't know if
Wow.
it's just because everyone else is so good looking, but the story kind of felt like he was the missing piece, and I was like, he's not that good looking. Like he's all right, but maybe it was just because everyone else was so good looking that the 9.5 out of 10 looks like a 7 out of 10 because he's surrounded by 10 to 10s.
That's probably what it was. Because you can't make this movie without Channing Tatum, since he's a producer and it's based on him.
McConaughey's the best part.
And Channing Tatum's not going to play Channing Tatum because he's not young enough. And you need McConaughey because you need someone to play the incredible part that makes you want to watch this movie. Like women want to watch this movie to see Channing Tatum naked, and men want to watch this movie because Matthew McConaughey is a fucking star in everything he does. And then you have this fucking loser.
Yeah, and he was a loser. He was a loser at the beginning of the movie. He was a loser at the end of the movie. He was a loser the whole movie. He was a fucking loser.
I'm just like, the kind of white privilege and insane masculinity problems you have to have for the first practice you meet your coach on a college scholarship playing football and you try to fist fight him. Like, dude, we don't need you. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, we can go get anybody we want, really. Like, you got lucky coming here. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking loser. Just a fucking loser. And he played a loser. He was a loser.
Who's next? The McConaughey?
No, we have the love interest, which you have as love interest.
Yeah, I didn't remember her name. Again, I did not care about her and Channing Tatum's relationship. I thought their chemistry was off. There wasn't enough. It was weird because it wasn't a will they, won't they, and it wasn't rom-com-y. It was just odd.
And like you said with my Mount Rushmore, Channing Tatum was at his best in that beach scene because he was allowed to be charismatic. And I understand understand they had no chemistry, and it's because of how they decided to shoot this movie and the stories they decided to focus on. Because if they would have made it more rom-com, you could have put any chick in there, no matter how good she was acting, and there'd have been chemistry between her and Channing Tatum. Because who doesn't fucking look at that guy and be like, oh yeah, whatever, yeah, sure, whatever you're saying. Yeah.
I believe you.
You'll take care of my brother? Yeah, sure. You'll take care of me too.
You can say an unfunny joke and I'll laugh
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, you can take care of me too. You know what? I don't even really know you, but you can have me raw. Like, holy shit.
That furniture is great.
Yep. You're such a good custom furniture maker. You for real follow this. Like, it's there. And now we have, as you put it, hey, or I would have went with, all right. I love that we had that like 4 times in this movie, which again makes me think that Soderbergh thought about making this movie fun. He thought about not taking it seriously. And sometimes he tried to do it and then backed off. Because why would you put the all right like 4 fucking times?
He's great. Well, I've kind of said everything. My favorite scene was every time he was on screen. He's clearly a star. He's clearly charming. He's clearly cool, clearly funny. I don't know what else to say. He saves this movie from being utter dog shit.
I 100% agree. And all I had to add was the all right thing. And I'm glad you put hey to remind me of it, because it makes me even know that Soderbergh wanted to make this movie fun at some points. Like, just go all out, dude.
Yeah, just make it fun.
I didn't even know that he did Ocean's 12 too. Like, when you said that, I was like, wow. Really? Anyways. Yeah. My girl, former fiance of the greatest quarterback to ever pick up a pigskin, my Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers' former fiance, Olivia Munn.
I believe married to Jason Sudeikis still?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't have anything to say besides what I said. Like, she wasn't in the, yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason I put this in here is to tell you that in the future, this character becomes Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct. I'm convinced.
Awesome.
I'm convinced she becomes Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct in another universe. And I would watch that movie.
Well, I'm just like, this it can be in the same movie universe. Like, this just in Tampa in the 80s, and Hollywood doesn't give a shit, so they have cell phones. And then she just becomes Sharon Stone. I can accept that. Movies are fake. I love suspending my beliefs.
That's the only reason I put her in there, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I had that moment in this movie where when I found out she was a psychology major, I was like, oh, she becomes Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct in the future, and just flashes her hoo-ha's at the cops to get out of trouble.
Nice. I will say, when I was doing trivia, when I read that Olivia Munn went topless in this movie, I initially read Olivia Wilde. And when I was in high school, my stepdad and my mom really loved the shitty house show, the shitty TV show House.
Yeah.
And Olivia Munn was in that. And in high school, I thought she was so hot. And, as I grew up, I realized she's just another average white woman. Not that there's, anything wrong with that. It's just like, give me Nicki Minaj, give me Beyonce, give me J-Lo. But anyways, and so I read Olivia Wilde and I was like, oh, awesome. I had a crush on her in high school. I get to see her tits. Awesome. And I did for like 45 minutes in this movie for Olivia Wilde to show up, and she never did. Even in the first scene when
Olivia Munn.
Yeah, even in the first scene when Olivia Munn was topless, Nema was like, is that Olivia Munn topless? And I was like, yeah, I mean, it is. That girl is topless. I don't know if it's Olivia Munn because I didn't know at the time. I was like, but apparently Olivia Wilde shows up in this movie and she's topless.
You did my classic Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson thing.
Yep. Yeah. So that was a good character breakdown for her. Trivia, which I have budget, which is actually kind of a lot. Like, this movie did pretty good and had a pretty big budget too. $7 million budget.
Just 7?
Just 7.
70.
Just 7. Like, I say pretty big because, I mean, what did they do besides hang out in Tampa and go and do stripping scenes?
Yeah, but 7 million's nothing.
Yeah, that's true. I also, this isn't included in my trivia, but McConaughey took this role in 10 minutes because he was intrigued by the idea. So, I mean,
See, I figured they had to pay freaking 7 to each Channing Tatum and Matthew McConaughey. I figured that was the 14 million between the two of them.
Well, I think Channing Tatum getting
Producer
credits, because I even think he got more than probably normal, because since it's based on his life, there's quite a bit of writing input he'd probably have.
Gotcha. Okay, his is all back end stuff.
Yeah, and dude, the back end, U.S. and Canada, $113,700,000 off of $7 million. Worldwide, like, normally these U.S. movies, especially the sexual ones, aren't that different. Worldwide, it's $167 million.
That's bravo.
Fucking, like, no wonder they got 2 more. Doesn't matter how boring we thought it was. Just and also a little budget trivia: the film's $7 million budget was self-financed by Channing Tatum and Steven Soderbergh. The Warner Brothers distributed film has now earned whatever I said, $167 million. So self-financed too. So he took all back end stuff. He was just, this is gonna make money. I'm betting everything on it.
Yeah, smart man.
There are a total of 19 minutes worth of male stripping in the film, but the first stripping sequence, like I said earlier, doesn't start until 22 minutes into the film.
Yeah,
which
and I'm not really sure why. I don't really know what stories get told in that first 20 minutes.
I'm just like, it's a not a male stripping movie. It's a movie about stripping. The first scene needs to be a stripping scene. Let me know the character I'm getting to know. Like, show me who they are, and then show me the dressing room afterwards and how they react and talk to people and even react with people in the strip club. That's what I want to fucking see.
I would say 19 minutes of stripping for an hour and 50-minute stripping movie is a proper ratio.
Yeah. But this is 2 hours.
It's an hour 50.
Okay. You think it's a proper ratio? Because I think there needs to be more stripping. I'm thinking, like, because 19 minutes is a lot, but, like, I wanted more strip scenes in this movie. And so I'm thinking, like, 24 to 26 total minutes.
And I guess kind of what I'm thinking is, I think 19 minutes of stripping in a 90-minute movie is perfect.
Okay, because that's what I thought you said, which is why I was like, but this movie's 2 hours. Like, we need more stripping.
Yeah, you're probably right. It could have used 5 more minutes of it.
Yeah. BJ, I put this trivia in for you specifically. Soderbergh gave McConaughey the note that Dallas believes in astrology as Soder's mother did herself. Which, because of our opinions of astrology, I'm just going to assume that Soderbergh makes fun of his mom. Like, and that trivia doesn't say that, but I'm going to take it because Matthew McConaughey's character is fucking ridiculous.
Our opinion of astrology is, oh, you're a space racist. Cool.
Yes. Like, just a side note, because I was saying this is funny and gives you an insight to our lives. I was in Southeast Asia last year, and I told Nima that I was going to bring rocks back to BJ from the oldest national forest in the world, because he's a geologist, and tell him that our friendships are based on the energy of these rocks. And Nima actually laughed out loud and said, BJ's going to punch you in the face.
And I'd have kept the rocks.
And I said, if he punches me in the face, it will be worth it.
I would have kept the rocks and still punched you in the face.
Awesome. Fucking awesome. I should have done it. There were no dance or body doubles used at any time. All of the actors did their own dancing and stripping in the film.
That is their ass you're looking at.
And that trivia is fun when you remember that all of the women's reactions are genuine. and they're stripping for these women for them, and these women are getting you what?
I will have to say that Jean-Claude Van Damme's ass is still better than anyone in this movie's ass.
Of course.
I
But
thought that was going to be controversial. I guess not.
Nah, it's to note that none of the asses are bad in this movie. But
No. These are all 10 out of 10s. Jean-Claude Van Damme's is an 11 out of 10.
Yeah. The difference between this movie and Bloodsport is this movie opens with naked Channing Tatum getting out of the bed, and you get to see his incredible buttocks. And Bloodsport makes you wait 45 minutes out of a 120-minute movie. So
Bloodsport's 90 minutes. It was 120 minutes with all the stupid fucking commercials.
I meant 90 minutes. I didn't mean 120. But wait 45 minutes till you see his buttocks.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the biggest difference in the two films is like from and when that first scene happened and he got out of bed naked, I was like, this movie's gonna be awesome. It
wasn't.
This is what we needed for Hawkeye January. McConaughey waxed his entire body to prepare for the role.
Just got a little wax up in there. Just yanked it off. Chest hair and all.
I have 3 more bits of trivia, and this one might be my favorite, but I had to put it with McConaughey instead of last. The last scene where he strips, and again, the women are having natural reactions. There is a point where he rolls away from all the women holding his crotch. This is because the extras got a little bit too excited and accidentally ripped his G-string instead of stopping the... Yep. Sorry, I'll pause. Yep. You heard that right.
And see, Roger, I'm not sure being a male stripper is any better than being a female stripper.
Instead of stopping the dance, he just incorporated it in.
That's bravo.
I'm enjoying being able to travel and watch these movies right before we record because it makes the movies better because trivia gets done at the same time. And
the boring ones, yeah.
Yeah. And my last 2 are about I put these last because that fucker Bert was supposed to be on here, the former stand-up comedian. But when Gabriel Iglesias went to read for the part of Tobias, the producers gleefully chanted his nickname Fluffy. Once they stopped, informed him the audition was a formality and the part had been written specifically for him. According to Iglesias, Channing Tatum personally called him to read for the part, saying that he was a big fan of Iglesias.
Who's not a big fan of Hot and Fluffy?
Oh, he's great. And for our own personal amusement in Hawkeye January, during one of Gabriel Iglesias' stand-up routines, he claims that the less endowed actors required props for the silhouette dances. After calling one of the nearby porn studios, a trunk was brought in full of rubber male props. When the props were dumped out onto a table, according to Iglesias, quote, "The 12-year-old came out in all of us," quote. And everyone started having mock lightsaber battles with them.
They were just dildo fighting each other.
Yeah. I wanted to end with the McConaughey trivia, but that's almost just as good.
Yeah. We just started dick fighting.
And it was incredible. Fucking love that. I'd have loved to have been on set that day.
That was the most fun day they had, for sure.
100%. All right, how was my trivia? I'm finally done.
Moving on to movie impersonations.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be McConaughey, right? No one else really has an accent.
No one else is just fun. I don't necessarily think you need an accent for these impersonations, but nobody's fun. McConaughey's fun. He's got great monologues at the start of all these. BJ, do not take everything. You can have like 2 things.
I will leave you the dildo fight.
Okay.
All right. I tell you what I'm gonna do when I have my little McConaughey's running around. They're gonna sit in front of that TV and they're gonna watch Jim Cramer all day. And you know what then we're going to do? I'm going to call up my buddy Glenn Powell and tell him to bring over his dog Hot Brisket. And we're going to pet Hot Brisket. And those kids will be rich because I'm rich. It's not going to be anything to do with that dipshit Jim Cramer. In fact, you ever follow the Jim Cramer anti-stock tips? That bitch is up like 45% this year. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I left you all the sex stuff. I just wanted to make fun of Jim Cramer.
Well, and you, I think bringing it back to Glenn Powell and Hot Brisket and the two hottest guys in Hawkeye January this year, that was I thought that was great. And what makes it better is we're all from Texas. McConaughey teaches at UT. Glenn Powell graduated from UT.
I went to UTD.
Yeah, which UT owns. So
sure,
they're just an ugly green.
It was the same goddamn price.
Yeah, just an ugly green versus an ugly orange.
Listen, do you want a longhorn as your mascot, or do you want a flamin' seaman as your mascot?
Flamin' seaman all day.
It's supposed to be a comet, but Google UTD comet mascot and tell me that doesn't look like a flaming seaman.
And it does. All right, here's mine. All right. The cool thing about what I do now is I teach at UT. I'm not even a real professor. So what I teach is a little bit of acting, a little bit of stripping, because God knows I can strip. You've seen my movie. And then we play with dildos, because who doesn't like playing with the dick that they imagine is as big as the one I have? All right.
Well played.
Thank you. All right. Final thoughts on the movie. What's your rating of this movie, BJ? I haven't even put this in my IMDb yet, so I'm going to do that now as we do this segment. What's your rating?
It's a 4.2. It's just so disappointingly unfun. If it wasn't for McConaughey, this movie might be like a 2. But McConaughey brings it up a significant portion to me, but it's still not good. It's disappointing. It's so disappointing. I'm giving it a 4.2.
I'm pretty much right where you are, but I'm just going with a straight 4. Like I think this is an easy round number movie.
Just what do you get in a what do you consider a disappointing movie? A 4.0.
Yeah. And like you said, without McConaughey, this movie's probably a 2. And it's so crazy to me because you have Channing Tatum and Steven Soderbergh in a movie about strippers. Like, it could be so much better than 4, and it should be.
Now, I'm not sure, because I don't remember it. I don't know if you remember it. Was this movie, when it came out, was it advertised as kind of a dark melodrama, or was it advertised as a fun stripper movie?
This is advertised as a fun stripper movie, 100%.
Okay. It's not that.
On trivia, I read this on trivia. Maybe we do this next year, depending on who's in the movie. But I heard the 90s male stripper movie, The Full Monty, is significantly better. So there's another male stripper movie that has nothing to do with Magic Mike, because there's 2 more Magic Mikes that we could potentially do next year for Hawkeye January.
Sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. 4. Should they remake this? I mean, they did 2 more times, so.
There is fun in here. It just has to be a fun movie. And I talked to a coworker today because I was pissed off how disappointing this movie was. And no one told me that it's actually a shitty movie. And he told me that the second and third ones are significantly more fun.
Okay. Just like Nima said. That,
yeah.
Like, cool. Like, because she's my girlfriend, I may watch the other 2 and let you know.
Okay.
Just because, fuck it. If they're actually fun, I'm down for a fun stripper movie always. Like when you texted me that the movie was boring, I hadn't even watched it yet. I'm just like, how? Like, Coyote You Ugly was such a shitty movie, but they did it so easily. Like it's supposed to be a fun stripper movie. And they weren't even strippers. They just danced on the bar in tube tops and jean shorts.
Yeah, not even that revealing. And you're right,
Yeah.
it was fun.
All right, BJ, are you ready for the good and bad IMDb reviews?
Yes.
So, first up, from Bobby Heinesley, 10 out of 10. Loved
Oh,
it.
a man.
Maybe Bobby's can be girl.
That's true. That's true. Is it I guess BOBBY can still be. Okay.
But it is BOBBI.
Oh, then it's a woman.
I couldn't get enough of it. ... Loved the dancing and cute butts. Matthew was excellent. Channing is a wonderful dancer. I'm going to see it again with my mom and my other best friend.
Does that mean her mom is actually her best friend and she's got another best friend?
I think she just wants to take her mom to see a shirtless stripper film. Probably still going with her best friend too. And you'll understand why I say that as I continue this review. I needed to stay in theaters for at least one more month. I might be able to see it. I might be able to see it 4 times depending on my schedule. Houston needs to have a girls' club like this. Every woman, a fellow Texan.
Yeah.
Every woman needs to escape to a club. Sorry, let me do that over again. Every woman needs to escape to a club like this. The men were sexy, and there was plenty of humor in this film. We need more movies like this for women because we can be lawbreakers. I would have liked to see a tiny bit more dancing from Matthew. They saved the best for last. Sexy Matt.
This woman 100% fingered herself in a movie theater to this movie.
I mean, at least 1 out of those 4 times.
Yeah.
Bobby Heisley, you're welcome on the pod. If you listen to this pod, hit us up for next year's Hot Guy January. You're automatically in. You have one of the 4 weeks.
We can do another Sexy Matt episode too if you want.
That's right. All right. My bad review from Siwada. 1 out of 10 titled, This was the worst movies I've ever seen. I can't believe people are giving this movie rave reviews. I cannot understand that one single bit. This movie goes down as one of the worst movies I've seen in my 40 years on this earth. The main girl, who I had never previously heard of, was not only a terrible actress, but she was uncomfortable to watch. Speaking of uncomfortable, the dialogue was extremely uncomfortable and awkward. It was as if there was almost no script and the actors were just giving a direction to go and hit certain points from there. They had to ad-lib, which they did poorly. There was not even enough skin to make this movie worth it. In my opinion, women who were wooed by this movie must not be getting much action in real life. My advice, get out and get a real man, or at least go see a real strip show. I wish someone would have warned me about...
This guy really wanted to see more dick in this movie.
He 100% did. I wish someone would have warned me about this before wasting my money and my time. That was the longest 2 hours of my life. I'm pretty confident my girlfriend and I, who hated this movie as well, aren't the only ones who felt this way. When we were walking out of the theater, I didn't see anyone who looked like they had a good time watching that movie. If you want to see the stage scenes, hit up YouTube.
I mean, the 1 out of 10's a little harsh, but nothing he said there is really all that wrong. I would say there's plenty of skin. There's not enough sexiness with it, though.
Yeah, I would agree with that, too. All right, BJ. Because I've had a little bit more to drink, never mind. I don't even have the other one on here.
Oh, I guess we're just getting right into the question of the pod of, would you recommend this to people?
No. It's not fun enough. I wanted to recommend it to people. I wanted to go off a Hot Guy January on a high. And, we didn't. That's a bummer. Next year we'll have better movies.
Yeah, I will say that if you're looking for a fun movie, this isn't it. And if you're looking for a melodrama about the sex industry, just watch Boogie Nights instead because it's way better. So it just falls in this weird category where it's not funny enough to be a comedy. There's not enough drama for it to be a drama. And the dancing's good, but it's not particularly sexy enough to be a sexy movie either.
Yeah. And like we've said all episode, there's not enough of it. Like you're gonna sit through long parts of this movie where this is trying to be a good drama, and then watch a short, not watching a fun strip scenes.
Yeah, that nails it. It's not fun if you want it to be fun. It's not good enough if you want a good drama.
Yep. So we're gonna have to give this one a pass. Well, that was Hawkeye January. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We had fun.
Well, Hot Guy January is over. It's over. I'm bummed.
It is. And coming up, we have my birthday episode soon. I don't know when it'll be, but you'll see us next week. We have no idea what movie we're going to do, but we're on all the social medias, even the ones that you don't follow. So yeah, follow us.
If you liked our theme months, let us know, because we are very interested in just kind of running theme months from now on.
Yeah, I mean, we want every month to be a bit. It's really easy to do October and December. We're glad we have Hawkeye January. Help us out a little bit. Give us theme months.
Well, it looks like we lost Jacob on this recording, but we are at the end. Don't forget to follow us on all the socials at IRMFT Pod. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to do. And until next time, bye.